Welcome to Pennsylvania in Focus. I'm Kristen Smith. Joining me today is the Center Square's Pennsylvania reporter, Christina Lingell. Earlier this week, Christina caught up with Senator McCormick and Senator Fetterman when they were doing a town hall on Fox News about their role as senators in a battleground state. So, Christina, tell me a little bit about what they talked about, what their dynamic was like.
So their dynamic was very, very congenial. And I think really at the heart of what a lot of what they talked about was kind of how they both have the same primary goal of helping Pennsylvania, and they want to work together to do that. So they were playing pretty nice. There wasn't a lot of animosity between the two. Of course, they don't agree on every possible issue, but they seemed very united in wanting to present themselves as working together on behalf of working Pennsylvanians, especially because, as McCormick noted, they were largely elected by the same people, right? So they both kind of have the same draw of working class voters that maybe looking at it from different angles, but a lot of them they just want to see someone who's up there speaking for them. So I think both senators kind of can play on that together.
That's a really interesting point you bring up about how they were elected by the same groups of people. I think that is something that might be shocking to people in other states, other electorates. Maybe that's what makes Pennsylvania so interesting in all of this. But given that they are elected by the same groups of people, where are they a little bit different on how they see things right now?
They're quite different when it comes to their actual policy. So I would say probably the biggest point of difference that matters right now is that Senator Fetterman will not be voting for the One Big Beautiful Bill as it currently is. And I believe Senator McCormick does support it. So that's a huge distinction. And for him, the sticking points are things like cutting Medicaid, cutting SNAP. Those social safety nets are really important to him as a Democrat. Where he does fall out of line with Democrats has been more the sort of things that we've seen in the news where, like he has a very staunch defense of Israel and the Netanyahu government, which has really rubbed a lot of the progressives who voted for him the wrong way. And we've seen more criticism or concern about his mental health and physical health coming from concerned people within the Democratic Party. I mean, you hear a little bit of it from both sides, but he's definitely called it kind of a smear and a campaign against him. And conservatives have certainly colored this as a Democrats kind of eating their own situation. So there are definitely points where he has fallen, I guess, out of step or gained some criticism from the Democratic Party. But when it comes to those core values as far as social safety nets and approach to how they fund government, Fetterman definitely, he's sticking with his base there.
Given that this is Senator McCormick's first official term, and he is new to this, but he was elected, I don't want to say on Trump's coattails, but he kind of had to fight for that win in the 2024 election. But nonetheless, he's there. Is there any ways that he is deviating from Trump and the Republican Party, or is he pretty much on point with them right now?
He's mostly on point with what you would expect as a newly elected Republican senator. He is definitely working with his party to accomplish their goals, and they certainly have a lot of momentum right now with control of the House and the Senate and the presidency. So I think, he's definitely doing what he can to make a mark as a good Republican senator. I do think that there's probably just in the fact of him and Fetterman being so friendly toward each other, that's the main thing that I think is the surprising takeaway from watching this, because we're not seeing that with a lot of from either side. So that does distinguish them from both parties, and that they're willing to present a united front together.
All right, Christina, thanks for joining us. To keep up with this story and more, follow us at thecentersquare.com.